Well, with Manchester United playing West Ham, that is tomorrow at Old Trafford. A match preview that's going to be dropping 2-3 hours from now on this channel. We are glad and let you know that one of the superstars for a team known as West Ham is needed by Manchester United. And who is that player? He goes by names of Lucas Paquetá, the Brazilian who came in through from the side of Lyon and by that time was linked to Arsenal, Man City and very many other teams. But West Ham went ahead obviously win the rest. And he's one of those that United really wants to bring in through as a number 10. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. After subscribing, endeavor to hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel. And remember, this applies to even that person who has not gone ahead to obviously hit the notification bell. However much you are already a subscriber, please hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel in here. Now, Cunha Matheus is back, and he's also going to be part of the discussion that we are going to be holding from now until when we feel like it's no longer necessary for us to come here and obviously discuss this. So smash the like button and let's set to where we are supposed to be. Now, Lucas Paquetá is one of those players that has been looked at by very many clubs. And guess what? Manchester United is into the limelight, or is into the news as they're linked to the player known as Lucas Paquetá. And Indy Kayla, one of the most accurate journalists concerning Manchester United during the recently concluded summer transfer window, has come out and told us that Man United are very keen to complete a deal for Lucas Paquetá in January at a fair market valuation. Contact was made on Wednesday lunchtime, and Manchester United is really one of those teams that need a number 10. And that shows you that if we are in need of Lucas Paquetá, it's a clear message sent out to Bruno Fernandes that the manager, in the names of Ruben Amorim, is not willing to play him as a number 10, even when Amadi Diallo and Bryan Mbeumo get to the African Cup of Nations. And remember, it's gonna be the 15th in there for you. 15th, that's where everything will obviously be happening in there. So that means if you're looking in for Lucas Paquetá and contact has been made, assurance has been given to him that he's one of those players that the manager is looking at to bring him through at the club of Manchester United. And he has been told to obviously look through himself and obviously make a decision on where he wants to be playing next season. And for United, they are not even looking at next season. They are not even looking at the summer transfer window. They are looking at the January transfer window because they want to bring him in and see to it that they bit off competition, I think, from other clubs. I think that's why they are going all hard in for him, because they know to it that if they hit the summer and they've not qualified for the Champions League, teams like Newcastle, if they qualify for the Champions League, Man City, Liverpool might obviously win the race. But right now, if he wants to go and play in the World Cup with Ancelotti, he needs to be playing at a reputable club, because it's obviously different. You know, destroying teams at West Ham differs from you destroying teams when you're at Manchester United. You understand? So even when Carlo Ancelotti is looking out for a player to take, if a player is doing magic at the club of Manchester United, he'll obviously choose you over a player who is doing magic at West Ham. And I think Lucas Paquetá has come of age, of experience, of talent, of class to come and really play at Manchester United. He's no longer a player at West Ham. Sorry, a player for a level. He's no longer a player for a West Ham level. He is beyond that. He is way better, I tell you. And I think playing in a bigger and better team will open up more and more chances for him to come out and really explode. That is a player known as Lucas Paquetá. So, in my understanding, I believe that Lucas Paquetá is really one of those that I have to obviously give what we call a benefit of doubt when it comes to really playing the game of football. I have very many reasons that are really endless as to why I think he should be the ideal player to bring to the club of Manchester United. One, as I told you, he's Premier League proven. Secondly, he's unselfish and his end product to the game is really quite a Manchester United-like. Thirdly, he scores goals. Fourthly, he's a multi-dimensional player, you know. Then fifthly, he's one of those players that even other big clubs have been interested in signing. Now, what makes you think that a player that Man City needed, Arsenal needed, Barcelona needed, Real Madrid is not fit to play for the club of Manchester United? If you still think that it's not right for that to happen, then I think you are not into the right game or you're not into your right mindset, because this lad is really one of those that we have to look at and really appreciate, you know. And I think the only hindrance that can happen are his betting cases that he had to answer in the recent past too in there. But all in all, he's a special kind of player that I've gone ahead to love, and he's a joy to watch. Getting to the game of Manchester United, he's not going to be playing because he was red carded. But the big question is his price. You know, Lucas Paquetá, the last time Man City bid for him, they put 80 million euros onto the table. You get 80 million euros onto the table. Now, can any team come out and obviously put out that, especially in the January transfer window? I'm talking about Manchester United. That is where the big question is, because even when Bryan Mbeumo leaves and Amadi Diallo leaves and Amorim doesn't want to play Bruno Fernandes into the number 10 role, something can be done. He can obviously play Mason Mount and Matheus Cunha into those positions. He can obviously play Joshua Zexi as a number 10. You understand? So he still has other options to obviously utilize as he waits for the African Cup of Nations. And in that period, from the 15th of December to the 16th of January, when the AFCON will be closing in, the manager will be having how many games to play? Let me check. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leeds, Burnley, Man City. So those are 7 games that these players will obviously miss out. And can he really manage to play these 7 games without these players? That is really very important. But for me, 80 million euros is the question. Is West Ham still at 80 million euros? And United are that serious that they've already gone ahead to make contact, you know, with the player and his agent to see to it that he obviously gets to know why the manager of Manchester United is interested in him big time. You understand? So that is it for Lucas Paquetá, and we wait for the further developments for this particular story, because I know a lot is obviously going to be happening during this time. And during this time, you know, I'm talking about December, as we are left with few days to see to it that we get into what we call the winter transfer window. You know, today is 3rd, meaning that 28 days from now, we will be discussing who is leaving where and where is that particular person going to in there. Now, we go to Matheus Cunha. Fabrizio Romano, earlier this week, came out and told us that, and I think it was on the 1st of December, he came out and really told us the following about Matheus Cunha. And he told us that Matheus Cunha back in training and available for Man United after a recent injury. Now, for me, I was really excited because I think Cunha has lots of things that can help us, especially in opening up these teams that we play against. You know, Manchester United looks more threatful when they're really having Matheus Cunha into their 2 number 10s. That is it. Because of his talent and his creativity and that improvisation that he brings up on the field of play. You know, his aura, his demeanor, you know, and his technical abilities are really exceptional. And one of the biggest abilities I really like about him is that making a decision, like a solo decision, to make that solo run, solo attack, to get that ball and really take it to the opponents. I really love that because it shows you how he is having huge confidence in himself to obviously play against those teams. Because sometimes you need that player who feels like, I own, oh, this is my moment, and feels like I should turn things around for the club of Manchester United. But him returning doesn't mean that he's obviously going to be getting straight into the team of Manchester United. And this is what I want Ruben Amorim and his people to get right, especially the physios of Manchester United. We all know what happened to this guy. We all know what happened. And what happened is simple. In his second game when playing against Burnley, he got injured. You remember? And I think he was rushed. After the international break, he was back. But he hasn't played very many more games, and then he got an accident during training, and he is really injured. And the most worrying bit of it all is that the player hasn't gotten back to the levels that we know he can play at. So that's why I feel like let's not rush him. Let's utilize the Mbeumo, and Amadi Diallo's when they're still here before they head to the African Cup of Nations. And after that, we will obviously see this guy get in. That's why today, I don't want him to be in the starting... tomorrow, I don't want to see him in the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. I just want to see him on the bench. Let him come in through, play in some 10, 20 minutes, 10, and then we see how Sunday will come. Because we need to hold him slowly by slowly, and patiently he will get back to the levels we know Matheus Cunha can be about. Who do you expect to start and where? Obviously, that's the video that I'm going to be recording to obviously present it to you here onto the United Matters channel. But guys, thank you very much for watching through. I had to throw in that Matheus Cunha hint because it's really very important, as many of you have been asking in the comment section whether he'll be fit to play today. And that will come in through into what we call the team news and the match preview in there. Lucas Paquetá to Manchester United hint. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below about it. And Matheus Cunha returning. Would you obviously throw him to the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United, or you really play him off the bench and you reserve him for other games in there for you? Rokan David remains my name, and this is what we call the United Matters channel. And thank you for obviously being with us here. And don't forget to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more you'll obviously get updates of the videos we upload. And how do you get these updates? After subscribing, you have to hit the notification bell. That will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel. So guys, first video of the day, more is yet to come. I think of really doing a live stream of the pre-match press conference that's going to be held by the manager of Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, at the Carrington grounds in Manchester.